What do you think of when you think of evil? Do you think of bullies, snow in the cold, or even an 8 o'clock class? The 39,510 people that are estimated to die in 2012 from this evil might think differently than you. The one person that is diagnosed approximately every 3 minutes and the one person that dies approximately every 14 minutes might think differently than you. And the over 2 million survivors in the United States might think differently than you. When these people think of evil, they think of breast cancer. The statistics I previously stated are from the Avon Foundation for Women and Susan G. Komen. There are 7 different types of breast cancer, 9 different treatment options, and countless ways to protect yourself from this evil. I'm sure many of you know of breast cancer and maybe even some specifics of it, but many of you may not know that there are different types of breast cancer. Although there are 7 types, I'm only going to talk about 4. I chose these 4 because 2 of them are very common and the other 2 are very dangerous. The first I'm going to talk about is the very common HER2 positive form. This is a genetic form of breast cancer that is caused by an excess of the HER2 gene in tumor cells. Many women that have or had this type of cancer will have their breast removed before having kids to decrease the risk of passing it on to their children. My great aunt had this type of cancer, and she also had her breast removed before having kids. The other common form is hormone receptor positive. These cancer cells have receptors, also known as proteins, that latch onto estrogen and or progesterone and depend on these hormones to grow. My great-grandma had this type of cancer, and it sadly took her life. The next form is inflammatory breast cancer. This form, instead of forming as a solid tumor like most types, forms in sheets or nests in the breasts. It's so dangerous because most ultrasounds and mammograms, which are simply breast exams, don't detect this kind. This leaves its victims vulnerable and in the dark. My boyfriend's mom had this type of cancer and went a long time without knowing it or having it treated. Fortunately, though, she was a survivor. The last one I'll talk about is triple-negative breast cancer. This type doesn't show the progesterone hormone, estrogen hormone, or the HER2 gene in breast exams. This is so dangerous because it doesn't react well with many treatments or therapies. Now that we've discussed types of breast cancer, we're going to talk about treatment options. As I said before, there are 9 options, but I'll only talk about 4. 3 of these are the most common options, and the 4th is a little known yet very effective method. The first is surgery, and there are 2 types of surgery, a mastectomy or lumpectomy. A mastectomy is a reconstructive surgery that removes some or all of the breast and possibly surrounding tissues in order to remove all the cancerous cells before they can affect the rest of the body. A lumpectomy is exactly the opposite of that. This type of surgery aims to remove just the tumor itself and, if unavoidable, a small amount of tissue surrounding to spare as much as the breast as possible. The other 2 common options are chemotherapy and radiation therapy. Chemotherapy is when cancer-killing drugs are taken by mouth or intravenously where it's taken through a vein. It's also a good treatment choice for most types of breast cancer. Radiation therapy is when high-energy rays are applied to the infected areas and the starting site. Like chemotherapy, it's also a good option for most types. The downside to the previous 2 therapies are the side effects, such as hair loss, nausea, fatigue, weight loss, and even memory loss. The final treatment option I'll talk about is personalized medicines. This ensures better results because each medicine is designed specifically for each patient. It also reduces the risk of the breast cancer coming back, which is also known as recurrence. Now that you've been thoroughly informed on types of breast cancer and treatments, the next and most important thing I want to talk to you about is ways to reduce your risk. Because male or female, young or old, tall or short, we can all be diagnosed. First and foremost, get checked regularly for breast cancer. Early detection is key. The most common type of screening or testing is a mammography. It's recommended to have one at least once a year. Secondly, watch your weight and exercise more. Eating healthy foods and drinking healthy drinks can help maintain a healthier weight. And getting active can be as little as taking one walk a day, more so than you normally would. Thirdly, research your family history. If your family has a history of breast cancer, talk to your doctor about your options to reduce your risk. Also, getting checked regularly is more important, and you should keep an eye on things yourself. Fourthly, don't smoke or quit smoking. Although smoking or secondhand smoke is more popularly known to increase the risk of lung cancer, it can also increase your risk of breast cancer. So get on a plan to give it up, or just keep not smoking. Finally, limit your alcohol intake. Alcohol increases your risk even if it's just one drink a day. Although I only talked about 5 ways to reduce your risk, the possibilities are endless. It's important to know that your risk is high, no matter who you are, male or female, young or old, tall or short, but there are always options. No matter what type of cancer, there's always a treatment and always ways to reduce your risk. So what will you do to protect yours?